Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. I am definitely new here, so I would like your support. Please like my videos and also don't forget to subscribe to this channel, and don't forget to hit the bell icon so that you can receive notifications every time there is a new video. Basically on this platform it's going to be more about poetry, but also other writings, and be it inspirational, a little bit of fun here and there. So that's that. Today I would like to talk about a topic that has caught my attention in the past few months. Yeah, so I would like to talk about self-awareness. Now, many people will ask, what is self-awareness? So this is basically knowing oneself. Also, it can simply be knowing your personality, being aware of the different aspects of self, that's including our traits, behaviors, and our feelings. Now, the question can also be, why? What's the big deal about knowing all these things? Okay, there's a concept of, well, we are the way we are, so all right. But then funny thing is, there are times where, like, I know myself so well, and then you do something and people ask you, why did you do that? And you're like, I really don't know, that's not how I am. And okay, well, with that, you knew yourself very well. But anyways, away from that, why is it important? One, it helps us to create healthy relationships with people. Why? Or how, rather. If I know to say this particular activity creates more of negative emotions within me, or being in this particular environment does this to me, it's going to help you to be able to understand what triggers what kind of emotions in you, and hence you know to say, at this particular moment it's not good for me to be around people, or you know to say, at this particular moment I'm at my best. Okay, now it's not something that's very easy to accept or to understand. Sometimes it may take us a while, and it may actually take us a lot of willingness to accept certain things about ourselves that we may not be willing to accept. Why? I think we all know it's definitely hard to, to accept certain things about yourself that appear to be so negative. Okay, now, why? Another reason why it's important: it enhances one's ability to make positive change and boosts self-esteem. How will you make positive change? None of us is perfect, and within ourselves we know definitely to say, there are times we've wronged people. There are times when you actually didn't even mean to do it, but you still did it either ways. And so it actually has to take you going deep within yourself to understand to say, what parts of me are negative, my attitude, my behavior, what traits in me are toxic and not good at all. Because normally we are so toxic to other people, but then we don't know that we actually also damage ourselves through that. And with time, when you understand to say, this is not good about me, it helps you make positive change within yourself. Hence you link it to happiness. It makes you a better person. You're definitely going to be so much happier knowing certain things about yourself. An example is identifying your emotions and what you're feeling. There are times when you really don't know what's going on within yourself. You're just like, why am I like this? The days were so low and you just don't know why. So the question is it possible to fix that? Of course it definitely is, to get over such things. How? Really identify your emotions. Know what exactly am I feeling. I know, yes, I'm not feeling so stable, but what exactly is it? Is it anger? Is it sadness within me? Is it, I don't know, am I just anxious about something? Is it anxiety? You'll be able to know then what to do about that. And another thing is, the biggest obstacle to our self-awareness has proven to be our emotions. Alright, so concerning this issue, and we all know that this is a fact, most of us tend to be subjective towards our emotions and not objective in our thinking or in our decision making. How is it so? Mostly we want things that are going to suit us, are going to suit how we are feeling at that moment. We want things that are, we're just literally so subjective. We don't look at the, we don't look through the other side of the table, and you realize that I'm actually not making this decision because it's the right decision, but simply because my emotions at this time are telling me that it's the right decision to make. Another thing is being able to recognize when we get defensive, and how we show it is an impactful example of self-awareness. Being able to recognize when we get defensive. There is a tendency within us as humans to simply want to be right almost all the time. It doesn't have to be, it's like it doesn't have to be right, but as long as I am defending myself, as long as I'm defending what I have done, that's all that matters. But in actual sense, that's, we know it's not right, and that's why some say it's very difficult to actually decide to go into this self-awareness. Usually it's not so easy because you have to go to certain parts of yourself that are not so comfortable. They're very uncomfortable, digging into truths and going into all these depths of self that are not just the best to go to, and yet it's the right thing to do. Why? It not only helps us to be better people, but in every sphere of our belief, be it Christian, it actually helps us to be better Christians. It helps us to associate with people better. And that's just the thing. And even so, if we were to link it even to our Christian lives, when we are not so defensive about our deeds, especially our wrong deeds, we will let God have his way in our lives. Our actions will not end up being a distraction to his will being done in our lives. No. When we are not so defensive, we allow ourselves to accept that what we've done is wrong. Hence, in our Christian lives, it makes us even easier for us to do the right thing, follow our commandments, right? Because normally, if when we break our commandments, we want to find an excuse. That's us being so defensive over the things that we've done. We want to find an excuse for what we've done, and yet guidance has been given in every way on what we're supposed to do and how we're supposed to live. So there isn't even actually an excuse as per se for sin. Okay. Also, it self-awareness is also identifying your strengths and shortcomings. Identifying our strengths. This is something that makes me so happy. And also our shortcomings. One day, just get up, get a piece of paper, write strengths and shortcomings the other side. No matter how long your list of shortcomings was going to be, just write it all and make it your aim that your shortcoming should become your strength somehow. Shortcomings, I'm going to be very honest. I think I'm like so quick to anger sometimes, which is not very good. It's not a good thing at all. And so, you just make it your desire to say, no matter what happens, no matter how much strength it's going to take out of me, I am definitely going to overcome this thing. It's not good to even get angry unnecessarily. Yes, of course, anger is going to remind you you're human, you've got emotions, there is all that, But then anger usually leads us to say and do things that lead to so much regret, a lot of regret. Recognizing when and how to trust yourself. How do you do this? How do you recognize to say, can I trust myself right now? These are questions we can ask ourselves. One, what are the things you can trust most about yourself? We can connect this to our strengths. What can you really trust, yourself with? What what can you trust about yourself? Is it your ability to solve problems? Is it your ability to bring a smile on people's faces? Is it your ability to listen to people when they bring issues to you that you can talk to them about? You know, ask yourself, when do your emotions get in the way of your decision making? We go back to being objective and being subjective again. When do these emotions, make me decide the wrong things, make me decide to do the right things as well? So one of our aims should be not to allow our emotions get in the way of our decision making, but rather let's just use our heads. We're always like, don't use your heart to think, use your head. There's this common thing, and it's the truth and a very good thing actually. Be able to tell, to say, right now I'm using my emotions to think about this. And this is not just in this sphere, it's in our relationships, not just friendships, but even our relationships with partners. There are times we do things due to our emotions and not because we're actually using our heads to think. Also ask yourself, how can you build your confidence in yourself? And notice those little things about yourself that make you feel so confident, that raise and boost your self-esteem. you know ask yourself, it can be a very little thing. It's simply when like I said, if like when you bring a smile, when you put a smile on someone's face, how happy does it make you? Such things are the little things that actually boost someone's self-esteem, give them so much self-confidence. Is it when you're wearing that yellow dress? So okay, it's when you're putting on these certain colors. Alright, if it's the bright colors that are making you feel good, throw away all those dull colored stuff. You might need them once in a while, but if they're affecting you, come on, no, you don't need them. Do whatever it takes to raise your self-esteem. Okay? Also, the other thing is, it takes time, it takes attention, it takes practice, it takes patience for you to get into this self-awareness thing. It definitely takes a lot of time. And the one thing you're going to need is patience. You're going to have to be patient with yourself. Takes attention. You have to really pay attention to the tiny, tiny details about yourself that you normally overlook, or you don't even think to, you don't even pay attention to them at all. You know, it's like they always say, it's the little things that matter. And definitely, trust me, it's the little things that matter in everything. In the way we associate with people, it can be those little jokes that you make, those little tiny jokes that you crack that actually hurt another person. It's the tiny things that matter in every sphere of our lives. It's the tiny things that you say to your partner that are going to either make it better or not. It's the tiny things you say to your friends. Every little thing matters. So get into that self-awareness, study yourself, know yourself, love yourself above it all. Because it's loving yourself that's going to make you want to know yourself even more. So I hope this was helpful to someone. Yeah.